Good evening, everyone. I'm Jason Feckner.
And I'm Denise Sinedka. Thank you for joining us tonight. Davenport police investigating a shooting on the city's northwest side.
A bizarre set of circumstances. Investigators right now still working to determine exactly what happened. News 8's Chris Miner has the latest.
Police.
Thank you, Chris. In the late 90s, Williams served time in prison after pleading guilty to a felony gang charge. In exchange for that plea, prosecutors dropped the charge of attempted murder.
Rock Island police said if there's any suspects.
A Florida man is behind bars charged with murdering a Chicago Bears fan who traveled to Jacksonville over the weekend. 47-year-old William Petrie, a married father of 3 from Lakeville, Illinois, had gone down to Florida to watch the game. Early yesterday morning, he was in a bar with friends talking to 2 women when police say one of the woman's boyfriends, 27-year-old Matthew Hinson, walked up to him and slit his throat. Investigators say Hinson calmly walked away to his car, but police caught him in the parking lot. Petrie's aunt says he wasn't the kind of man to pick any fights.
A family guy. He owned his own business. He worked extremely hard. And here he had an opportunity. Not many opportunities did he get to go away and have a little weekend. And it didn't take many vacations, but he loved the Bears.
Police say surveillance video shows there'd been no altercation or fight before Petrie was killed. Hansen is now being held without bond. Police say he's admitted to the crime, but hasn't said why he did it. To Pennsylvania tonight, where former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky set to learn his fate for sexually abusing several young boys. Convicted of 45 counts of child sex abuse, Sandusky will be sentenced tomorrow. He faces up to 373 years in prison and could be declared a violent sexual predator. Sandusky's maintained his innocence throughout. Prosecutors say it's expected that after sentencing, he'll spend the majority of his time in prison in solitary confinement.
Now, Storm Team 8 weather.
Fees could be headed up tonight for boat owners in the city of Rock Island. City Council tonight set to debate whether or not to raise slip rates at Sunset Marina for 2013 and 2014. Crews would use the 3% hike to dredge part of the marina, allowing for larger boats to have easier access.
And the city benefit from the enabling garden.
Election Day is 4 weeks from tomorrow. The home stretch still packing 2 more presidential debates and 1 vice presidential showdown later this week. ABC's Karen Travers checks the pulse of both presidential campaigns tonight.
To change it.
ABC's Karen Travers reporting there. Now expect the focus to shift back to the economy tomorrow with both candidates crisscrossing Ohio. Meanwhile, back here in Iowa, the average of all polls from RealClearPolitics.com give the president a lead of a little more than 3%. The Chicago Tribune has weighed in tonight on one of the 2 congressional races here in the Quad Cities. Tribune endorsing Congressman Bobby Schilling tonight in his run against Democratic challenger Sherry Bustos to represent the 17th District. The editorial board, known historically for its conservative leanings, said that Schilling is, quote, willing to make tough reforms, end quote. A Tribune report this weekend claimed that $3.3 million of campaign cash has come from outside the district so far. $2.1 million to Bustos and $1.2 million to Schilling. Both candidates set to face off this week right here at WQAD. Their live debate set to take place Thursday night at 6:30. News 8's Jim Mertens will moderate, and a live studio audience will be here on hand. Still ahead at 5 tonight, a new way to buy that new car.
Well, kind of. Why the Home Shopping Network's new gimmick may not be all it's cracked up to be. Next.
I'm sure the hosts are still super excited about it, though, on there. And later tonight, get that Pepto ready. What inspired this record-breaking brat and just how long it got before the ingredients ran out, thankfully. That's ahead on News 8 at 5.
Wedding dresses.
7 people are now dead as a meningitis outbreak continues to spread from coast to coast. In all now, 91 people have contracted it. The outbreak linked to contaminated steroids. At least 76 clinics across the country distributed the affected drugs. They have since been pulled and recalled off the market. The New England Compounding Center, which investigators have linked the problem to, doesn't have to meet FDA standards as it's a compound pharmacy, a practice that sparked outrage.
These pharmacies were designed to provide products for local people in your community, and that's not what happened here. It's a big problem, and I think there's going to be change at the government level.
The CDC reports that 13,000 people were potentially exposed to the tainted steroids. Both Genesis and Trinity here in the Quad Cities have confirmed that they don't use any products from the pharmacy in question.
As you sit down, same effect.
Hence my love of milk and cookies. The two, I think, just really go well together. Just ahead tonight, heading downhill well before Halloween.
Just how far you'd need to drive tonight to be skiing by morning. That's ahead on News 8 at 5. Little soccer match going on today in Rock Island between Omar and Alejandro.
Omar with the score. Nice job, Omar.
They had to deal with the wind a little bit today. Very breezy out there.
Alejandro also had to deal with Omar's big right foot there.
I was going to say, that
Kid's got skills.
That big hook, and you had that wind in there, man, come right around.
Can't beat Omar, no.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a nice day, for sure. A lot better than it has been in terms of temperatures out there. We can get. It's unfortunate we have to have it on the weekend, but we really need that.
Yeah, you bet.
Bone dry.
Or you could just head north, thank you, Terry, because if you feel like a 6.5-hour-long drive tonight, you could be skiing by morning. Wild Mountain Ski Resort in Taylors Falls, Minnesota is officially open for the season, thanks to low overnight temps and an early snowstorm, along with some high-tech snowmaking gear. Crews were able to open several weeks earlier than normal. Skiers and snowboarders, of course, loving it.
October 7th. I never thought I'd be able to ski this early.
Wild Mountain's goal is to stay open from now through the rest of the winter, but Mother Nature, of course, plays a role in that. They're not so much worried about warmer temps, but the rain, which could wipe away that base. And you, I think, would look great in those sunglasses.
Oh my
Those are
gosh.
sharp.
I would look even worse on skis, I assure you.
Yes, that I can believe.
Up next, a record-breaking brat.
Just how long this monstrosity of calorie-induced goodness turned out to be, and the reason bratwurst makers kept churning out the enticing piece of sausage. Finally tonight, cholesterol levels way off the charts tonight in one community in Wisconsin.
But totally worth it, because a grocery store there marked its 50th anniversary this weekend by making a record 52-foot-long bratwurst at just a very small cost to them. Right. It cost roughly $20,000 in meat, casing, and man-hours all put together to create this anniversary event. Customers and city leaders all splitting up the brat. No word on how much that store racked up in sales of Pepto-Bismol and Tums. That
Probably
was
plenty.
The catch there.
Yes, worked out very well for the store, I'm sure. Making me hungry, good to see.
Wisconsin, what's going on up there?
Well, brats and beer, man. They know the score.
Exactly.
Well, there wasn't
God's
even any
country.
cheese on it or nothing, you know? That's nuts.
You got a picky palate there, Terry.
Well, I was just trying to tie it into Wisconsin. You know how that's a big dairy state, right?
Yes, it is.
I know that much. 46, tonight's low temperature under partly cloudy skies. And tomorrow then, partly cloudy, maybe a late day shower, 67.
All right, thank you for watching News 8 at 5. We'll see you again in about half an hour.
Have a great night, everybody.